On to the next painting tool. This is a Purdy Clear Cut Elite. This is the top of the line at Sherwin-Williams for brushes. These hold a lot of paint. They got a super nice handle. This is what we always use. They're just a good quality brush. I would recommend using this, a Clear Cut Elite or a Clear Cut. They sell them both at Sherwin-Williams and they are around $20 per brush. So you do want to take care of these and keep them going for as long as possible, as long as you clean them out.
They do make brush combs as well. If you start to get a lot of paint up here that's built up and starts to dry, you can get a brush comb and really brush them out. It helps to preserve the brush. So,
but yeah, they'll last a long time.
If you're painting and you're leaving the paintbrush in the bucket and it's drying along this edge here, it's gonna damage the flexibility of the bristles. So what you're gonna want to do is, if you don't want to, I don't know, if you don't want to use the brush, you're gonna want to clean your brush out every couple hours while you're painting. Otherwise, it's really gonna start to harden on this this edge right here. So.
Yep. And this isn't exactly how we do everything. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to understand. So we as professionals can teach you as beginners to get the project done in the simplest way possible to get the most professional results that you can.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for you guys being able to get this video, being able to do the job yourself and not have to hire us to come and do it for you so you can save a bunch of money.
Yeah, because these days, I mean, all contractors are so busy, prices are going up, prices are, I don't know, at least 20% higher than they were a few years ago for sure. So you're just gonna save so much money using this video.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times too, people don't realize how much a room costs to paint. You know, they will have a contractor come over and they'll have them get an estimate. You know, the estimates are free, but if you did call a contractor to come over and to have an area estimated, then you could have more of an idea of what the cost is. Usually for 1,000 square foot, you're looking at, what do you think, Derek?
At least like $1,500, I would say.
$1,500. And
yeah.
And so, I mean, with paint and saving on labor cost, you're really gonna start to save a lot of money when you learn to do some of this stuff yourself. And when you're getting the paint for 50% off and you're getting a lot of these tools cheaper than you would normally get them, it's really gonna start to save you some money.
Another thing I want to talk about is how much paint you're going to need. This paint, Cashmere, goes 350 to 400 square feet, which is about an average bedroom. I'd say about a 12 by 12 bedroom.
Yeah.
So you can factor it in if you want to.
And that'll do about 2 coats.
Yeah, that'll be
so
2 coats
be complete,
too. Yep.
1 gallon per space.
So how I like to figure it is if you kind of picture a bedroom inside your house, like even your living room, if it's like maybe like a bedroom and a half, you're going to need 2 gallons.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can measure it up. It's not super consistent as far as the square footage, but that's about what you get, is about 400 square feet at the max. So just another thing to think about when figuring out how much paint to buy. If you're painting 3 bedrooms, you're going to want 3 gallons. If they're a little bit bigger bedrooms than a 12 by 12, you might want to go with 4. And that depends if you're going with the same color. Obviously, if you need multiple colors, then you're going to want to buy whatever to adjust that.
Yeah, trying to figure out how much paint you need on a job can sometimes be tricky, especially with the color you're using. If it's a 2 coat per room job, you should be good on 1 gallon. If you're thinking you're going to do a white and it's going to take 3 coats, you're going to need a little more. So, you know, just figure out, you know, if it's 12 by 12, that's 2 coats per gallon. If you're going to add an extra, you're going to need 2 gallons. It's probably going to be another half gallon. Each what do you say? Each coat that you do, the next coat is going to take a little less.
Yep, it's going to be a little easier too.
Yeah.
Especially this right here is this is an eggshell finish currently, and we are using a low luster. That's typically what we use for Cashmere is low luster. It's just got a really nice finish. It's got some sheen to it, but it doesn't show imperfections quite as much as a satin finish. It's still durable if you have kids or pets or whatever. You can still wash it. It's just a all-around great finish. That's what we're using here to paint this whole living space.
It's really easy to touch up.
It is.
You know, and if you have kids and they're constantly touching walls and you don't really want to be washing them all the time, you can use a mini roller here, you know, and you can just bust out your paint that you used on your project and just, you know, take your mini roller, dip it in there and just you know, touch up your spot.
Yeah. So it's not quite as easy as flat, but it's as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So yeah, touching it up with a mini roller. And these mini rollers right here you can buy at Sherwin-Williams as well. This is a microfiber mini roller nap. They come in a 2-pack. This is the Sherwin-Williams brand mini roller. And you just buy these. These are a couple bucks, and this is maybe $3-4 for the pack. And these are really nice for getting behind toilets, getting behind railings.
Just hard to reach areas
Maybe I
in
can
general.
Show you quick over here. Very cheap. Probably have it at home, but you can use an old t-shirt, but rags, in case you get a little spill or you need to wipe something up, or sometimes we like these to clean off baseboards before we put the tape on. Just cut up an old shirt. This is something that's very handy, very important to have. So just make sure you have that before starting your painting project.
Yeah, the other thing is you can get this frog tape. It's amazing. And it does seal really well when you tape off your baseboards, or you're taping off your windows, or your fireplace, or whatever you're using. It has a product called Sherlock, and it really keeps a nice straight line as long as you press it down after you've put it on the surface. But don't skimp on tape. Try to get yourself a really nice tape, and we do recommend frog tape. It's the best tape you can really get. So
especially for a beginner. You go with tape like this from Sherwin-Williams. Both of these you can buy at Sherwin-Williams, but this is their cheap stuff. You put it on the baseboards, you brush over it, and you can almost guarantee you're gonna have paint seeping through onto your baseboards, and you're not gonna have to clean them all up if you can get it off once the project is done. So might as well just spend a few extra dollars and go with the frog tape, especially for a beginner. It's the best option.
yeah, I mean, 3 rolls of this should get you about, well, this is about 60 yards. This is about 90 feet per roll. So, I mean, this is going to get you a long ways.
Next up, I would recommend getting some sanding materials. These are sanding sponges. You can buy these at Sherwin-Williams. You can also buy them at Lowe's. This is coarse. I like to use the coarse the sandpaper just to get off all the boogers, anything on the wall that's just stuck to it. Makes your sanding process go really fast, and they last a long time too. So these are 3M. You can buy a box of them depending on how much you.
I'd say it's about $5.
Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
No, for cheap.
Yeah, pick up a pack of these and
Get a bunch of them.
use them for sanding. You can also. This is also optional. This is a pole sander. This attaches to a pole. It screws in, and you can pick these up at Lowe's. Sherwin-Williams might carry these, but what you do is you cut out a piece of sandpaper, which you can also pick up, and sand your walls down for an ultra smooth finish to knock down. You can't probably see it, but right here there's little imperfections everywhere. And it just gets everything off your wall so you can start out fresh and make them look as nice as possible, get the most professional looking results.
Yep.
So this isn't optional, but for as cheap as they are, this is probably $5. This is a pretty cheap one. I would say it's worth it.
Last thing we have here is plastic. This would be to cover up anything that you have in a room that you just don't really want to get paint on. You know, so you have your drop cloths are going to go on the edge of the wall, but if you're worried about, you know, maybe, what is that?
Just the dust or specks from your
roller getting out onto your furniture and stuff, you could put this out on your furniture to protect it, or whatever you want to protect. This is nice to have, and you could cut it into sheets and put it wherever you want.
Yep. This is really going to go much farther than you'll ever need to do your whole house to cover all your furniture. Unless you're going to use this for something else, like painting your ceilings. One box should be plenty to.
Yeah, this is
to get your project
400
completed.
feet, right? So
Yeah.
this is a lot of plastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
A few last things. You're going to need scissors if you're using the plastic, and screwdrivers for taking off your outlet covers and your vents.
Yep.
Other than that, I think we covered it all, and we'll see you in the next video.